What is going on, everybody? EK here, back with another episode of the Clutch City Review for the 2023-2024 Houston Rockets, and I'm going to be reviewing the game from last night. Obviously, our 122-126 overtime loss to the San Antonio Spurs. Please, before I get started, like, share, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, please. Also, follow me on Twitter at Coalition Hoops and also on Instagram at coalition.hoops. Appreciate y'all. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off, coming off as a 30-point loss to Orlando in the season opener. Not only myself, but a lot of other Rockets fans, the Rockets community, we were very optimistic, so to speak, on what we could possibly do with the San Antonio Spurs, being because of the fact that, they're obviously a rebuilding team. They've got Victor Wembanyama, who was this year's number one draft pick, and he's looked pretty promising. They also got some other young pieces like Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan. So they got a lot of guys, a lot of up-and-coming guys on their team. And for us, we just wanted to show better effort, right? And I think for the most part, we did show better effort. I think defensively, we showed better rotations. We showed better sort of poise. Dylan Brooks was very, very active early on. We were able to get use of our vets. Obviously, Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, Jeff Green was able to get some run. Reggie Bullock was able to get some run. Boban was able to get some run early in the game yesterday. However, I think the play of Alperen Sengun, and throughout the entire season, you're probably going to hear me talk about Alperen Sengun more and more and more in such a glowing light, because he was amazing. The first game, we got blown out by 30. He was the lone sort of shining light in that blowout loss. Once again, yesterday, super competitive game. He was amazing. Had 25, 14, and 7 on 11 to 18 shooting. He played 41 minutes. He played absolutely fantastic. Then you got Fred VanVleet, who, like I said earlier, he was much more aggressive. Coming off of the high screen roll, looking for a shot, getting into the lane with efficiency and also with purpose. Fred VanVleet was able to do that. And also Jalen Green, coming off of the season opener where he was 2 for 10, didn't really play very well. He had 10 points in the first quarter last night. And he was doing it all. He was getting to the rim. He was hitting that between the legs, step back crossover jump shot that he normally shoots. He was doing everything last night in the first quarter. Sort of tailed off towards the end of the game in overtime. But I think for him, he was working his way into the offense, and I think he realized that, listen, I'm a scorer. Let me score the basketball. Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, these guys can run the show. Alperen Sengun, you can run the offense through them. Let me score, right? So I feel like he was able to do that early on, even though he tailed off later on in the game. Another key point for me was the fact that Jabari Smith Jr. didn't necessarily have the best game. He had 13 points, 9 rebounds. He was 5 of 16. So it's not that he wasn't getting the shots. He just did not convert at a very high to even competent level last night. And that's to be expected because he is a young player. Obviously, the Rockets community, we know the type of work he put in during the summer, how he looked in summer league, things of that nature. You would have hoped that would have translated to the season, and hopefully that still will. I'm still holding out hope for him. It's only game 2, so obviously he still has room to grow and work into himself. But just kind of going over the game, I felt like we were able to really get into the paint. Like I said before, we outscored the Spurs 76 to 56 in paint points. In addition, we were also able to get to the line fairly frequently. We got to the line 20 times. However, we only converted 10 free throws. We shot 50% from the free throw line, which isn't going to cut it, right? In a professional league where you're playing against other professionals, you have to be able to knock down your free throws at a high level in order to win basketball games. And last night, really the loss could be attributed to 2 things. It could be attributed to our free throw shooting and our inopportune turnovers at the end of the fourth quarter, which led to overtime, right? I think other than that, we played pretty well. We were able to match the Spurs pretty much in everything: rebounding the ball, assists, steals, blocks, turnovers, things of that nature. We pretty much matched them. Even in field goal percentage, we actually shot 52% from the field, and we held the San Antonio Spurs They're shooting 48.9% from the field. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that we were able to force Wemby out of the paint. We were really limiting their paint touches and their paint scoring. So they really had to rely on the three ball last night. They shot 42 threes and made 13 of them, right? Oh, and they only shot 31%. But at the end of the day, we made 8 threes, they made 13. That's a big difference at the end of the game. We're talking about a 4-point game. That's a huge swing, right? And they were hitting a lot of opportune threes just because we were late closing out and things of that nature. But Operation Sengun, like I said, he was really the fulcrum of the offense. Whenever we would run just a side post up on either side of the block and isolate him, he was able to pretty much have his way score. Obviously, when he drew the defense, he was able to either pass for the direct assist or the hockey assist as well. So he looked absolutely amazing. But yeah, overall, the loss was definitely frustrating just because of the fact that if we would have made our free throws, like I said, Jabari Smith Jr. didn't have the best game. He had a wide open three that would have given us the lead. Then he missed 2 free throws back to back down the stretch. That just can't happen when you're a professional. So like I said, I'm going to be holding out hope for him, and hopefully he's going to be able to learn from that and get better from it. But what I saw last night was competitiveness. I saw defensive intensity. I saw our rotations were very, very crisp for the most part. Like I said, it's going to take some time to really master, the defensive rotations, especially when you're playing against a team that has a lot of guys that have guys who can shoot from the perimeter, right? You got guys like Doug McDermott who can shoot from the perimeter, right? You got guys like Cedi Osman, he can shoot from the perimeter. Obviously Devin Vassell, 3-level scorer, right? He can shoot from the perimeter. Wemby, he has the ability to shoot from the perimeter. He wasn't necessarily great from the perimeter last night. I believe he was 0 for 6 from 3, and he ultimately did his damage in the paint late in the game. However, when you have guards, forwards, guys who have the ability to stretch the floor, and you have to have your defensive rotations have to be crisp, and I think that just comes with timing. It comes with more reps together as a team, right? Mind you, this is a whole new coaching staff. Ime Udoka is a brand new coach. He brought in a whole new defensive philosophy, defensive game plan, and that's something that's going to have to get worked over the course of the season, right? It's not going to get mastered in the first month, second month of the season, right? So I wasn't necessarily discouraged by that. What I was discouraged by, like I said, was the free throws. If we make our free throws, we win the game in regulation. It doesn't go into overtime. And that was really the brass tacks of it. And when you lose a game because you're not able to capitalize or execute the simple things that need to be executed in order to win, free throw shooting is something that whatever level you're on basketball-wise is something you're taught that you have to be able to make them because they are free throws. We're not saying you need to go 100% all the time. But having 20 attempts and only making 10 as a professional team is disgraceful. And that's the reason why we lost the game. I know a lot of Rockets fans and everything like that are saying, Wemby got a really crazy whistle and the refs costed the game and things of that nature. Fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, if we make our free throws, we win the game. And we didn't do that. That's just not on Jabari, right? Obviously, he missed the 2 crucial ones at the end of the game. But that's on everybody, the team as a whole. But all in all, like I said, it was a very competitive game, and I felt very good about what we were able to do overall against the San Antonio Spurs, and I think we'll be able to carry that over into our next game, our home opener against the Golden State Warriors. Now, do I think we're going to beat the Golden State Warriors? I'm hopeful, but my guess would be no. I think we're going to go 0-3. However, I think if we come out with the same intensity, especially on the defensive end, if we come out early, if we establish, try to get into the paint early, like I said, 76 paint points means that we're getting into the paint with intention. Like I said, Fred VanVleet was really able to get going with him and Alperen Sengun when they were doing the 2-man high screen and roll game. Then him and Boban had some side screen and roll action, was able to shift the defense. He was able to get into the lane, get guys involved, or score himself, right? So I think when we do stuff like that, getting into the lane, increasing our paint touches is only going to increase our efficiency because we're not a very great three-point shooting team. We don't really have a lot of guys who have the ability to shoot three consistently. Reggie Bullock is probably our best shooter. Fred VanVleet is streaky. Jalen Green is streaky. Jeff Green, he's a vet. He can hit an open three every now and again. Alperen Sengun, he's been working on his threes. Jay Tate, he can maybe hit a corner three every now and again. We don't have a lot of go-to consistent snipers from the perimeter. So the key for us is transition buckets and also paint touches in the half court. And luckily we have a guy like Alperen Sengun who has the ability to utilize his skill set at the top of the key to get guys open shots. And also because he has offensive versatility, he's a big who can put the ball on the floor. He has the ability to draw two defenders at any time. And because he can pass out of the double team effectively, that will obviously give us chances either in the post or on the perimeter to score at an efficient clip. So with that being said, like I said, it was super frustrating. I did not record last night because the way I was feeling, much like a lot of Rockets fans, we were very, very frustrated, and I didn't want to get on here and not give any substantive analysis, because if I would have recorded last night, it would have been a lot of belligerent yelling and screaming and things of that nature, and that's not what I want to bring across with this channel. I want to try to give substantive analysis for a team that I've been rooting for since I was 5-6 years old. So with that being said, like I said, the Rockets unfortunately fall to the San Antonio Spurs 126 to 122. Alperen Sengun, regardless of the outcome, he was the best player on the floor. Regardless, he's been amazing. I think a lot of Houston Rockets fans can echo this sentiment. He is the fulcrum of our offense. He's the main facilitator. We need to run everything through him on the offensive end. That's the only way we're really going to get anything going this season, especially the early part of the season where we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do offensively and defensively. So with that being said, I'm hoping we're able to get a win against the Warriors in our home opener. We'll see what happens. But, I'm just hoping for a better result, better effort, better free throw shooting, continuing to try to limit the turnovers, and also continuing to try to attack the paint and get in the paint, either for easy scores or for draws and kicks to the perimeter for wide open perimeter shots. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate your time. Once again, follow me on Twitter at Coalition Hoops. Follow me on IG at coalition.hoops. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a review for every Houston Rockets game this season. So it could be 82, could be 84, could be more. Wishful thinking. We'll see what happens. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless. Take it easy.